Well, I don't know, this is going to sound from microphone shit. I found my little place in the middle of fucking nowhere that I've yet to come and explore during the day because it's cool real place. But anyway, I don't know, it's going to go, well, I won't be editing it, this is the fucking point. That's pretty subjective, so now, get across. So, as I put on Instagram earlier, I suffer from just various illnesses that I've been diagnosed with this year. I've been diagnosed, I've been said that, diagnosed, I'm waiting for a full report so I can give it to the relevant people. So I've had to pay for this myself because the mental health service couldn't help. Mental health service were of no use in any way or form. The thing is, I should probably go into detail about each part, but I'm trying to keep it to sections. That's no plan. So, PTSD. I've got 4 PTSDs, major PTSDs. I can't remember each significant one and what it represents. But when I started my therapy and seeing a psychologist, I was telling him my symptoms, what I've been suffering with all my life, and I need help. It's the first time I've actually had to for them say, okay, at the end of the session, see you next week. For anyone who doesn't get counselling or doesn't get counselling, trust me, a good counsellor listens. They don't interrupt, they don't tell you what you should think, they don't tell you what's in the textbooks because you're not the textbook, you're not the last person you spoke to, you are you. And regardless of how you all look at my experiences that I'm going to be explaining, if you look back at the things I've put on, you've got to try and put yourself in my shoes, which you can't. But it's very hard, it's hard not to detail it. So, bear in mind, I'm a doctor, never had a problem with that. Don't want none of you thinking that people out there, I'm going to say names, Mark T, he plays on it to get attention. No, I don't, I just don't. I've always known I've been a doctor until I got to secondary school. I didn't know I was a freak. Because up until I went to secondary school, I'd always known I was a doctor. I even remember saying to Mum, when did I ask you when I was a doctor? And she says, from the day I got you, she says, even though you couldn't speak, she says, I told you every single day. I told you every day. So that answered that. So that's not been a problem, it's been part of life. It was only when I got to secondary school and I was a ball because there's no one else a doctor at school apart from my brother when he was leaving. And my brother didn't like to admit it because Robert's not that sort of person. But you have foster care, you have kids who go in care, kids in care home. But when you're in care, foster care, you go back. Your parents want you back. So I was kind of reminded, being a doctor means your mum and dad or your whatever don't want you. Full stop, never want you again. Yeah. And so I got bullied for various different reasons, various different names. I got classed as the bully at school, or actually I wasn't. I very contained myself because I just used to shut up, and then I did what you shouldn't do for anyone who gets bullied. Just ball it up, and then when you do lose it, you cause too much damage at the wrong time from the wrong people, and you got expelled. But yeah, I was a bully because of me, who I was, and the person that was taunting me was a swat and a boring bastard, and he wouldn't do anything like that. He must have provoked it. Anyway, so it's fun. So, none of that's been a problem. But when I was at a very strict regime, my family regime was very, very strict. Unfortunately, I've confronted my mum about this, and I've had to. This is all part of my dealing with my fears. My mum, because I'm adopted, she didn't carry me. She hasn't got that maternal instinct. My mum brought me up as a student. And anyone who witnessed how my mum was with me, when I was growing up with mates, will know exactly what I mean. My mum said I had to be in by 6, I was in by 6. If I was a minute late, she was out in the car looking for me. And I can tell you stories, been 18 years old, been told I have to be back at 10, rang before mobiles, I rang her at parties and said I'm coming home in the morning, and 10 minutes late she's in the house dragging me out by my collar. Now, I didn't disrespect my mum, I never badmouthed them, never ever disrespected the rules. I was a little cunt, but I tried to tell me no, I'm going to do it anyway. But if you don't understand that, but my strict regime, my routine daily was so concreted in me, it wasn't to be told, I didn't have to be told anything. So school day, I get up in the morning, I would get dressed, take my pyjamas off, I'd be folded neatly on the end of my bed, put my school uniform, come downstairs, get breakfast, ready for school. And that was never a question. I remember one time my brother saying to my dad when he was a bit my brother's 5 years older than me, he was in secondary school, and I was at primary school, and he said, "Dad, where's my shoes?" And my God. That's what you should have organised that before, Robert. That's what I remember thinking to myself, because Dad went fucking mental. Because that's what our routine was. Anyway. So it was strict. But it was very controlling, very psychological controlling, not necessarily physical, very psychological. I got in trouble, I didn't get scolded, I didn't get hit, but it was more, I was sat down, explained if what my actions had done or if I hadn't managed to cause a massive issue, what could have happened, and then I'd have to go to my room, and when I went out to go to my room, I had to go sit in my room, I'd sit and think about what I'd done, and there were 2-3 hours I'd have to come down and explain exactly why I'd been sent upstairs, for what reasons, and what the repercussions are of my actions. If I didn't, I'd have to go back upstairs for 3 hours until I got this right. Anyway, so one particular afternoon after school, I was 9 years old. Routine was we used to get a lift to school with Dad. He used to take me and my brother, 2 friends up the road, and then their mum used to bring us back. This particular day, Robert always used to come pick me up because he was at secondary school and I was in my second to last year of primary. I knew something wasn't right because my dad and my next door neighbour was picking us up. I'm very switched on, I don't miss fuck all me, by the way, just to let you know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there back me up on that. Anyway, so alarm bells are ringing, nothing said, Dad's get the car, driving home. Bear in mind, what I'm about to be subjected to is not what anyone that I know would be allowed to be physically subjected to at all, even not long after this is 1980. This is 1987. So, we're driving down, if you know where I used to live, down the road. Driving down the road, and all you can see as you come up the hill is where the crossroads of Starcar Lane, Barton Road, which I live on, Starcar Lane goes down, so Chicken Farm, Tom Road goes up the village, carry on to Elsham, towards our house. Totally barricaded off with police vehicles. We drove up, police vehicles let us in. Now bear in mind, I don't understand what different police people look like. I'm 9. So all I see is police everywhere, the road shut off. We had a big garden, anyone knows where I live. It's a very isolated house, and as we pulled on the drive, all I could see was my mum's car in the middle of the lawn, the door wide open, and I mean when a car was in the middle of the lawn, I mean it'd been fucking driven through the lawn and basically hit a tree. And then I was walking around the garden, and all I could see in the garden. And bear in mind, I had to learn what these people were because I was told never to ask questions, never spoken to. So I was just walking around trying to figure out why my mum's car's middle of the lawn, where's my mum? Why there's these people in white suits in the grass, in the bushes, we had a big garden, some in the house, some in plain clothes. And as I walked towards the front of the house, there was a brick wrapped in a floor mat. Where, because of the way the house is secluded, the burglar would try breaking the window. It's very apparent to our house, I put the window through, but we had such strong windows that you couldn't do it. That's how isolated the house was. Once you're in the garden, you couldn't see out. Anyway, by the by, so basically, be on end all, his mum used to be a teacher. She'd come home early because the last tuition had been cancelled. So when she pulled in the drive, there's a car in the drive, and I'll never forget this turquoise Datsun Sunny. My mum told me. And she sees a gentleman carrying what looked like a box as he come around road side of the front of the house. Now, my dad did work for Catalogue, Bainbridges, and everyone knows my dad, so we did get them quite often. So the gentleman put the box down, walked towards mum down the drive, which is a fair drive if you know where I live. And he said to my mum, oh, can I help you, love? And she was like, I think more can I help you, which is where I live. Now, at the time, my mum was a very big lady. I'm talking 20 plus stone. Very big lady. And I've got photos to prove it, don't believe me. He dragged my mum out the car by her hair, stuck a knife in her throat, not stabbed her, stuck it, pierced her skin, dragged her along the floor, all the way across the garden, around the back of the house, so I managed to break in, tied her up, gagged her, blindfolded her, and he said to her, I'm going to finish cleaning what I need, love, and then I'm finishing you off because you've seen my face. Now, I can't imagine what my mum went through, so you're probably all thinking, what otherwise this affected you? But you won't get it because it's all to do with the family upbringing and how the whole thing panned out. So my mum, after 20-30 minutes, it went quiet. She couldn't hear anything. She knew where she was in the front room, and she knew that the door to the front room was in front of her. So she edged her way forward, got the blindfold off, and made a run for it, even though her hands were tied. This is a big woman. Out the garden, screaming and screaming until one of the neighbours come out, which was what I call a lawn on the corner of Stankin Lane. That's when the authorities were called. Now, at the time, this was all over Crime Watch calendar. It was quite a very serious crime. As to say, this guy threatened to come and kill my mum. So, when I'm back at the house, sorry I'm jumping back and forward, I'm back at the house, I'm following my brother and my dad, and I had this female police officer come up to me. She knelt down, she just goes, your mum's gone away for a bit. I'm just up and walked off. Bear in mind I'm a fucking mummy's boy. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a mummy's boy. I doted on my mum. And she was gone. I didn't know what that meant. Apparently I spent 3 days at my grandma's. There's a lot of details that my brain blanked out. But going back to school was my worst fear, because you go back to school as a pro school, expect everyone to blah, 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 blah. And I don't know what happened, but not a single person even reacted as though I'd not even had a day off. No one was like, you alright, James, what's happened? I mean, this was all over the papers, it was news. We had a reconstruction done, because it took that long to catch the burglar. So that was weird. It's as though people had just been, it's as though it hadn't happened, and it had, obviously. Well, all of this, I was not allowed to speak to anyone. My mum came home at a certain point, but the reason why she came home was because we found out they needed her as bait. The family from Hull, I'm still not allowed to know the names because of the threats I made from the day it happened. I was only fucking 9, what I'd do when you come out of prison when I'm 16. So I don't know who he is, I know they're from Hull. Anyway, back in them days, it wasn't like it is now. They were selling the goods in the pubs, and he was saying that he's going back to finish this big job that's in him because he can't afford to fucking be spending more time in prison, this, that, and the other. Anyway, we had a very high sensitive alarm put on the house, which means we were all instructed once we go to bed, we were not to leave our rooms under any circumstances until the morning when it was. We didn't say it, the police did. And where I lived, there was an unmarked police car on every single road facing the house, and every patrol unit in the area, if this alarm triggered, was to attend. Now, we had this alarm a few days. My dad had got up and gone for a wee. He just forgot. So he didn't know he set his alarm off. But this particular night, the gentleman that had done the burglary had actually set on his way back from Hull to come and finish the job off. So it was quite coincidental really, but anyway, I hear a commotion, and all I hear is when I get down the bottom of the stairs from Mum and Dad's bedrooms in the back room, was I saw 2 men dressed in black, unmarked policemen. I don't know, no one's explained this to me. And when I mean they're kicking the shit out of my dad, because they followed Dad. I mean, they weren't just rough, they kicked shit out of Dad, until I realised who it was. Anyway. A few hours later, police or whatever, they actually caught the gentleman just at the bar end side of the bridge Still not heard his name. When they actually caught the gentleman, he was a renowned criminal burglar, and he literally just got out of prison for doing 13 years because he shot his last victim dead with no hesitation because of the same thing. Didn't want a witness. Now, my whole life changed that day I went to school, but everything stayed the same because of how strict my life was. And I got my mum back physically, but I've never seen my mum again mentally. I've never seen that woman that brought me up to that day ever. Now, I only saw my mum this few years ago, but the guy who burgled the house, he decided to use our house knives from within the house because he took his own weapon. That means that he is actually, that's armed robbery, whereas if he uses something that's already within the house, it's just a fray. So unless it's a charge, so basically he got fucking 6 years, got fuck all really. He'd have been out of prison by the time I was 14, 15. So we got fuck all really. And my mum, I used to hear her. Bear in mind, this woman, before this day, I was a world. She never looked at me with anything but with love that I've never experienced before. And I used to sit on the stairs and I used to hear her. She'd stop and look at me. If you've ever seen a fucking good horror film, I can't do it. But when someone's totally fucking like, that is black. It was black with no blinking, but she just stared through the boy that she brought up. Didn't blink. She turned away like a robot and walked into the kitchen. And I'd hear the rustling in the drawers and the cutlery. And it'd stop and then I'd come back. She'd come back through. She'd stand and turn and look at me again. She'd look through me like I was nothing. And walk off. I have to go in, I'll go in the kitchen and what she's done is she only do the knives. She don't use knives, so basically she just set all the knives out. The drawers, every knife that was available in some weird fucked up pattern. And I did that every night from 9 until I was about 18. No one knew about that until I told them a few years ago. Because I didn't want anyone else to witness it. I didn't want my dad to see it. I didn't want because I can't explain how my mum refused to leave the house on the basis of it'd win if she did. But that whole day has made me part of who I am. I like to protect people, I like to care for people. I like to look big, I like to be intimidating, I want people to stay away from me. I don't like people hurting the ones I love, the ones you hurt them. A couple of people out there know a story, and it's fact of what I did to someone who did hurt, if I remember, really bad. So I delivered a message that I'll never forget. That's not for me to talk about. Well, that happened when I was 9, and I had to grow up figuring that out. So I didn't learn about the police, I didn't learn about the fingerprint dust and the way things were. There was no counselling, there was no doctors, I had to go to school. So, but kids now, they've been modelly wrapped in cotton balls, fucking taken away from school, fucking blah blah blah. Fucking, I've had nothing, I wasn't even asked at any single point of my life. Do you think you've been affected by that robbery, James? Started showing its colours, right? So that had a massive impact because, like I say, when you're brought up with you don't speak until spoken to, and you don't ask questions. Hence why now I'll always ask questions. I always want an answer, and if you lie to me, I want to know why. I will get the fucking truth. That's bullshit. So that's far from all the detail. Because the PTSD that I've got from that, I see black ninjas, shadows, what they call them, I don't see them so much now, running around at night in gardens and whatever minute. So I don't sleep well at night, nightmares, night terrors. No matter what I take Valium fucking Xanax, you name it, I'll be up. But on top of that, the chaos in my head that has progressed because of having to try and deal and understand things on my own, with no one explaining and doing self-research, and getting knocked back by any time I've gone for help. But then that's I'm cutting that I'm stopping this video on this particular area. There's a lot more to it, and I probably will add to it. But you have to live it. You have to live it. That's why I'm. Oh God, I can't explain. I can't explain. That isn't. And that's hard enough. That created the PTSDs that I suffer with. And the extreme thought pattern that I have, because I went to school like any normal day, as I expected, and I come home, and like I say, everything just stayed the same. But everything changed that day. I mean everything. Dinner times, we sat there, and Mum would just throw tin across the table, just smash the house up. She didn't know what to do. She used to have blackouts. She used to disappear. She had no counselling. I'm not being funny, but you might think it's nothing, but bear in mind, it was on Crime Watch UK. It was a very, at the time, it was the most serious residential burglary within our area ever committed, and how it was committed. Yeah, it was my mum, but it affected all of us. So I'm going to cut that video there because I'm just giving you a snippet. Because there's other stuff you've got. And we all subjected to, but I just want you to put in perspective of what your life, what you class as trauma, because not many people meet trauma till death. And that's not even traumatic, that's guaranteed. Sorry, but I don't find death upsetting or painful. It's just happened, yeah, Dad screwed me up. It's Dad in it. I've seen people dead, I've seen people fucking run over, I've seen a lady crushed under a lorry. Fucking hell, I've seen a guy drop dead at work. Been paid to do stuff I wouldn't like to care to admit about. You'll wonder why I live so isolated. I've had to because of the person I am, the person I've turned into. I'm a nice person. I've got a heart of gold, do everything. But I'm screwed, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I could be honest with you now, I'll be honest with you now. I'm sat in the middle of nowhere, I'm not going to give you a location. Well, there's bridges over there, but in terms of there's no one around here to bother me. If I wanted to, I'm not going to. I have probably got enough paraphernalia not to wake up if I wanted to. But I can't, because I've got my mum. And she knows, I know, and my brother knows. I'm sorry if you people really, so you hear all of it, you still won't get it. I don't live a life, I survive a day by day battle of personality disorder that can totally contradict itself. I've got attachment disorder. Now it's, well, psychiatrist said for someone to actually have both is unreal. Attachment is because adoption, all the rest of it, blah blah blah. Detachment is also the same fucking thing. I want to be loved, but then when I get love, I get scared. I fucking push it away as hard as I can because I don't understand it. Don't understand love, and I mean that. I don't understand. For you out there, I'm just going to put this in there. I'm not going off the subject. Been adopted. You know your parents are, and if you are adopted, there's a good chance you probably do. I didn't. And there were bits and bobs. I went to find them, and that's another story. And that was within the last 12, 13 years, and that was at the point that has totally turned my life on its head, and why I am in the state of mind I am today. Because you'll never get it, no matter how much I try to explain it, but I will do. But today was mainly about my first traumatic experience. But I did have mental health issues prior to this, because the only memories I've got, I don't remember any positive memories at all, due to the extremity of traumatic experiences, because I've been so extreme under a normal daily routine basis that I now cannot, my brain doesn't think of anything as, oh, do you know what? Oh, we've got a really nice day today. Could be fucking, there's gonna be fucking massive it'll create so much extreme trauma that's no way gonna happen, but it'll do it anyway. And I have to fight that, and that used to stop me even going out, so I'll stop going out now. So throwing the relationship down. I cannot hold the relationship down, because I can't be asked to fucking try and explain to someone, this is who I am, and I don't know who I am. 14 diagnosed confirmed personalities, I've got 14. Could be more. 4 to 5 my therapist says she sees a session, and it's from posture, the way I talk, the way I I could take drugs, but I don't want to be fucking spastic. If I'm going to take drugs, I'll just take the drugs I've taken before, because trust me, I don't care what you say, and I've had the conversation with psychiatrists now. When I took speed gave me more control of my thought pattern than fucking I've ever had in my life. I suffer now more because of the thoughts I cannot understand and control, because of that. But speed's like ADHD, really for ADHD people. For me, my thoughts can't. And I actually made contact with my natural granddad by accident. I know it sounds silly, but normally when I ring direct inquiries, I'll go through what he did. He said no to what I asked him, but I'm not dismissing it. I have one more chance at asking him the truth. That's on the video. Whether this video makes sense, I don't know. But I'm hoping that, I don't really care if it does, because do you know what? There's some people in my life that expect me not to be here every fucking day because of how mentally torturous my brain is. And my therapist says that I must be exhausted 24 hours. She said, how on earth do you function with your brain at such an erratic state, overthinking, overanalyzing, trying to figure out when something goes wrong, what caused it? It never stops. It never stops, James. There isn't anything in textbooks of me. It's all theoretic. It's still theorised. A lot of the research that they've been doing on the stuff I've come out with, they're having to look into stuff that's still down as research, because there is not enough evidence to back it up. Not enough people with the disorders of whatever. But I've had a break to it, and my therapist has just done a dissertation. She can't mention my name, but she says I've done it on you, on someone else, because she says it's fucking amazing. I've never met anyone like you, James. She says I've worked in prisons, I've worked with kids, I've worked with high risk everything. She says, but you, James, you're a totally different level, not a dangerous level as in danger to the public. She says, I suppose you could be. But I'm more of a danger to myself. And I mean, you all know about my drugs, but I'm actually going to do a full video. And I remind you all, my drug taking only stopped 3 years ago, from 12 years old. A lot of you kids break generations, you might have had a crack pipe and you snap a bit of coke on the weekend that you deny. Another thing, guys and girls, you've got kids and that, you're growing up, it's all going to come out, don't lie. Just bear in mind, someone asked me a question, I don't lie, I don't give a shit who you are. I don't lie for no come, that's what I thought. So I fought out with a lot of people. So when I've had certain fucking friends' kids who were teenagers about me and what I do, and I've said I'm alright to talk to them. They said, yeah, about my personal experiences. Just bear in mind, they're going to question you because what did Jamie do on his own? Don't fucking lie to them. Don't lie to no cunt. Because you gotta live with lies. Lies are guilt. Lies are guilt. Something I do not live with. I know certain someone out there living with a lot of guilt right now, even though she's putting on such a fake fucking bullshit act. Fucking use me, you fucking using cow. I ain't now figuring out what a simp is. I won't even acknowledging you, let alone fucking talking to you, love. And yeah, you got what you wanted, you got your fucking money. You're settled, you're happy with your little fucking life now. But it won't last forever, love, trust me. It's all going to go wrong at some point. And I was there to be more than welcome, more than happy to support my mental health too much. Since I got a diagnosis, stopped drugs to change my life for the better, try and give myself a better fucking future for me, and so I had a healthier life. Lying cow. I'm quite happy to say it. Lying fucking cow. Well, I just don't. She doesn't done to me what she did to her ex-husband. So I'll find that out. I don't care if you hear this. If you find that out, I don't give a fuck. I'll lose my shit. Just because he won't. Just because you fucking cheated someone, you fucking hit the toilet when you fucking married. I'm sorry I owe you nothing now anymore, sorry, fuck off. I literally owe you fuck all. Absolutely fuck all, love. Because it's funny how quite a few people agree your end. You're the one who uses people for your own advantage, by the way. It's not them lot. You just use that as your get out clause. If someone's no good to you, you fuck them off. Well, you might get your pennies, you're never going to get your happiness, trust me. So everything comes out in the wash. Oh, Jesus Christ, who stays out in hotels when you could have driven like half an hour home? But you didn't want to because you were more bothered about getting laid and tending to your sexual needs because you wanted attention and you wanted to make sure that you couldn't be with someone that you've slept with them and not even considering the fact that your fucking son was taking a verbal abusive beating to the point where he was getting screamed at. And do you know what? It doesn't matter how bad it was at home for you. You shouldn't have left your kids for that. I don't care if you hear this. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. You're not guilt-free at all. Far from it. You'll be guilt-free when you tell your kids exactly what you did, how you left them, and what you did behind your husband's back. And you tell your mates exactly the sort of person you are. Then you'll be guilt-free. Then you might move on, and then you might not stop being this person you don't know what you want to be, and I want to be this, I want to be that, and that's why you fucked me off. So when you tell what, you're the one who's got serious personality disorders as well. And yeah, I'm going to bring that all up now because you know what? Somebody's clicked the other day. I'm not going to say who, but you really think I'm stupid enough that you're not fucking someone already? You lying bastard. They've already been in contact with me. Oh, you definitely have, I hope you get me kicked out. What fucking kicked you out? Because I didn't over her. Fuck me. So I made to kick someone's fucking husband's head in after she got her money. Sorry, but yeah, it's coming out, mate. It's all coming out. I owe you nothing. Absolutely nothing. So be prepared.